Hey guys!
Hi!
Welcome to a special Q&A video today on TGG Global Emergency Responses. My name is Timur, or Tim as some of you might know me. I am the creator of this little channel, and with me here today is my friend Lucas.
Hi guys!
He is better known as Firescue112 on YouTube. And yeah, so we are here in beautiful North Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada today. As usual, standing in front of a fire station, the district of North Vancouver Fire and Rescue Station number 1 that you can see there. And yeah, we're gonna try and answer some of your questions today. So let's get right to it. First question, here we go. Alright, so here we are now with a slightly different camera angle, but still in front of District Hall 1. And I think we're just gonna start with a question that I get asked quite frequently on my channel in the comment sections, which is where I'm from, who I am, and how I get around so much. Because as you probably noticed, I have a lot of videos from around the world, and yeah, so I am originally from Germany, and Lucas as well.
Yeah, right.
Which is how we know each other basically. And I have also lived half my life in Asia, and I also get to travel quite a lot. And this is basically how I get videos around the world. It comes down to family life, to traveling just for fun, and friends as well. And whenever I'm anywhere around the world, I like to try my best and get some videos. So let's get to the first question here, which is from Team Coolman 759739, and the question is, why did you start this channel? Okay, that's a good question. For me, I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier, where I'm from and how my life has kind of been, because I lived in different places around the world, for instance in China and in Vietnam, and in those places you usually don't have a lot of videos of emergency vehicles on YouTube. And so early on I was never planning to really upload anything, but as I was kind of getting around and getting some videos by coincidence, you know, filming stuff because I had seen it on YouTube, because I had been a fan of emergency vehicles all my life, I thought, wow, okay, now I have some videos of some vehicles from China, and I'm like, yeah, then maybe I should upload it one day. And yeah, basically I always had a fascination with emergency vehicles since I was a little kid. Also back in Germany, mostly the fire department, and as many of us are, I was inspired by other YouTubers who film vehicles, and that's basically why one day I decided that I should start this channel.
Yeah, for me it's not really the same, but I'm a volunteer firefighter in Germany since 2008, so not too small, and a medium-sized fire department near Munich. And yeah, I just enjoyed watching emergency response videos from all over the world and in my spare time, and just figured out that there was not really a kind of professional emergency spotter in Munich, in the city of Munich. So I just thought, why shouldn't I do it? Why shouldn't I just film emergency vehicles in Munich? And so it was just the intention why I started my channel, and yeah, kind of I liked it doing these videos. I get some good feedback, and so it yeah, grows and grows over the years.
It pretty far now.
Yeah, so it's over 60,000.
One of the biggest channels, so
which I'm pretty proud of. So
respect.
But that was not really the plan. It was really just a plan, filming some emergency vehicles, and so now that's it.
Yeah. Okay, so the second question comes from Ease, and it says, it's my birthday, and your favorite department, in brackets, fire, from any country.
So yeah, happy birthday.
Oh right, happy birthday. And yeah,
what's the favorite department of us? So maybe you just start.
Yeah, it's a hard question, this one. Not easy to decide on one department. There's a lot that, you know, have advantages and disadvantages. There's always some stuff that you like and some stuff that you don't like as much.
Exactly.
But I think for me personally, it would be in between the Hong Kong Fire Services Department or the Singapore Civil Defense Force, so Hong Kong and Singapore, which are both favorite places of mine as well. And I just really like their fire departments because they are kind of like a hybrid culture in Asia. It's like it's Asian influences and European influences and some North American influences, which really makes for a very unique mix of vehicles and style and equipment that they have. And I guess I would have to say that Singapore probably has the cooler vehicles, just because they have a few more lights on there, you know, blues and reds and fancy stuff like that, but they don't get as many calls as Hong Kong does, so it's not as easy to film them. So I think overall I would have to say Hong Kong HKFSD is my favorite department out there, just because Hong Kong is such a crazy big city. It's kind of like the New York of Asia, I always say, and their fire department of course is also crazy busy, very professional, very well equipped, and it's just really cool to see fire engines racing through busy city streets, I think. So yeah, Hong Kong. And you?
That's really a hard question, because most of the departments I went to, they have something which is not that cool as I maybe think of it would be. Yeah. And so it's really hard to say. My hometown Munich has some cool vehicles and stuff.
Okay.
Good engines here.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a really hard question. So all of the departments on my trip had some disadvantages. So maybe the one department which is left is Montreal. So I think Montreal will be very cool. We'll be there next week, so maybe if this video will be out, then I would be just there, come back to Germany.
Do you like their style?
Yeah, their vehicles are really cool. The livery is very nice. Yeah. So yeah, even if it's just a standard Spartan Gladiator, which is very kind of boring. Most of the time, or very common. Yeah, sometimes it's very boring. So, but with the livery of Montreal, this is really cool, and I'm really looking forward for filming them the next time. So,
okay, so there we go, Montreal and Hong Kong.
The next question.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, whoa. Okay. They're getting a call. So the next question comes from Boss TV Hamburg, and the question is, what's your favorite siren / horn? Yeah, also not that easy to answer, I would say, because there are so many. But and you know, obviously there's a great difference between European sirens or German sirens and North American sirens or even Asian sirens, so not that easy. What would you say?
I would say my favorite is of course the Federal Q, which is a great manual American horn. Every one of you will know it. So
I always enjoy hearing the rumbler or the howler when that's being used.
Yeah.
And the sirens that the Vancouver Police Department use are also really nice. I love the high-low tone that they have, and then together with the rumbler, that's just one of the coolest sirens you can hear, I think. But you know, anytime there's a lot of heavy siren use and mixture of tones and also air horn or something like that, it's great. That's what we love, you know.
Yes.
The louder and the more colorful, that's really what we're asking for, you know. So
of course. Yeah. Vancouver Island Emergency Photography asks us, what is your favorite emergency service in BC and why? I would say Richmond is pretty nice, just south of Vancouver, because they have really great rigs. Pierce, I would say Pierce Dash with a great livery, so that's pretty much awesome. And they have
a rumbler.
And they have a rumbler, of course. And that's all I like. And because, of course, there are lots of other services which are pretty great. Maybe District North Vancouver and even City of North Vancouver have pretty awesome rigs, new rigs and even older rigs, but it's really a great mix, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, for me personally, it's also a few departments. But I think I also really like the Victoria Fire Department on Vancouver Island. Maybe just because they have yellow trucks and that's so unique here in BC. I think
of course, the unique ladder truck.
The ladder truck is also really cool, and I think they're the only department that has yellow trucks in BC. And so that's pretty awesome. But other than that, I'm also a big fan of North Vancouver and Richmond as well. And you know, Vancouver itself is also not that bad, but just because I live there and I film them a lot and I see them a lot and I hear them a lot, you kind of get tired of it. I think we all, you know, we can all relate to that in some way. But yeah, that would be favorite BC's departments, I think.
Yeah.
Alright, straight to the next question, and it comes from Eifel Blaulicht TV, and the question is, what was your greatest success and what was your greatest fail ever? Yeah, okay, maybe...
Story time.
Yeah, it's a nice question because I think every person who enjoys this hobby has a few pretty good fails, also a lot of success, but you have to understand that in order to get great videos, you very often have to deal with some frustrating experiences as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's very unpredictable and pretty often things can go wrong. And you might have noticed me keep looking back at the fire station because actually as we're doing this video, they might get a call and we might miss them because we're so focused on this camera right now. But moving on, so I think one of my greatest success moments must have been on the island of Maui in Hawaii fairly recently when I was there, and I uploaded this video as my 10K subscriber special, and it was a rescue boat or a fire boat response on Maui, which I really got because I was there at the right place at the right time, which is usually how it is. And I wasn't expecting much on Maui because, you know, it hasn't been filmed much before, it's not that busy, and you really don't know what's gonna happen there because it's not that heavily populated. And yeah, so when I was there I was just trying to film anything really, and I went to one of the fire stations and spent some time waiting around, and all of a sudden I get an engine and I'm like, wow, that's great, and then in the corner of my eye I just see more lights and I'm like, whoa, what is this? And then I see this boat. I'm like, wow, okay.
On a trailer.
Boat on a trailer, pulled by another fire pickup, and it's just like,
that's pretty awesome.
That's pretty awesome, you know. Maybe not the greatest video ever, but I mean, it's a department that's rarely been filmed. It's yellow, it's on Hawaii,
and that's such a thing, like.
And it's a boat, so I mean, come on.
Boat on a trailer.
That's pretty awesome, I think.
Oh yeah.
And then the other success story I think would be another recent video as well, which was from Dubai when I was there for a few weeks. And I really wasn't doing a lot of filming at all, and what some people might not realize is that I was there over the summer, and over the summer it is unbearably hot in the city of Dubai.
Like what? Like 56 degrees?
I think the record was 56 degrees while I was there, with very high humidity, which is also kind of unexpected.
Celsius, of course, for the Americans.
Right, okay. 56 degrees is very, very hot.
Yeah.
And the humidity was awful. And so basically you couldn't really go outside much, especially during the day. And it also didn't cool down much at all at night. But you know, long story short, I decided that I must film something while I'm here. It was mostly a family holiday, but I wanted to film something. And so one night I said, okay, I'm gonna spend like 2 hours in front of a fire station because I had worked out that it's like a roundabout where a lot of emergency vehicles tend to go by, you know, from doing a little research. And so I thought, okay, I'm gonna spend like an hour, 2 hours here as long as I can bear. And hopefully I'll get maybe an ambulance or like a police car with lights or something, and then at least, yeah, I have a Dubai video, right? And then I get out of the taxi and I'm there kind of looking around a little bit, and not even 15 minutes pass and I just hear this bell going off at the fire station, and I think, huh? And I was so confused by it because I wasn't expecting anything to happen at the fire station that I didn't even start recording initially. And only when I saw firemen running around in the station, I was like, okay, I think they got a call. And yeah, then I started recording.
Yeah.
And the gates opened up, and you know, the rest you can see on my channel. But it's so special because, first of all, there's not a lot of videos of the fire services in Dubai, and they also only get a call maybe every 2 or 3 days. And now the call that I got not only happened after 15 minutes of waiting, but it was also a fire call, a confirmed fire actually. And so they sent 3 trucks, and yeah, that was just really awesome, and I think my greatest success. But yeah, let's hear from you, Lucas.
Yes, my greatest success was maybe in Germany, in the city of Augsburg, how we pronounce it, and it was 2 times pretty much the same. The first one was a structure fire turnout, and as it's quite common in Germany, you have a load of trucks turning out from the same station to the call, so I don't know how many, maybe up to 10. Fire trucks respond to structure fire, rooftop fire, and that was pretty awesome to record. And just 2 days after that, the same thing happened, but it just was not a real fire. It was a fire alarm in a large industrial plant, and they sent also loads of units, and another station passed by the Augsburg station, and yeah, lots of German Martin horn, and that was pretty awesome, I would say.
Yeah, that's always nice if you get a response with loads of different trucks. Great. Okay, so now to the fail moments.
We all have them.
Yeah, we all have them, and you know, it might look like on our channels things always work out. We get like crazy stuff or whatever.
Just wait 10 minutes and...
No, it's not that easy. There's a lot of moments where you're just like, oh no.
Yeah.
If I had only been there earlier or a little later, or if I hadn't left at this point, or if I was 1 street ahead, you know, we miss things all the time.
Yeah.
But I would say the single worst experience I had was in Hong Kong, where I went to a fire station, which it was a fire station on the main road, and then at the back of the building there's an ambulance depot, which is quite common in Hong Kong, that they have a combined fire, rescue and ambulance station. And so basically there was no need to go to the back road though, to the ambulance station, because all the ambulances inevitably had to go up this little side street and come out on the main road anyway. So you could easily just stand in front of the main fire station with your camera and wait there, and you wouldn't miss the fire trucks, and you could also film all the ambulances that came up. It also happened to be one of the busiest ambulance depots in the city, which during like rush hour times can mean an ambulance every 5-10 minutes, and it's pretty crazy. But after a little while you get kind of tired of the ambulances. It's pretty frequent, and you really want to film the fire trucks, of course, but the fire trucks didn't get a call. And I waited about 3 hours, I think, just over 3 hours, and I got like 50 videos of ambulances coming up the road, and it's always the same angle, you know, pretty much when you're standing there. And so I thought, you know, I'm probably not gonna get a shot of the fire trucks today. I can come back tomorrow, but I should maybe get 1 shot of the ambulances actually turning out of their hall with the gates opening up and everything. Since it's so frequent anyway, it's only gonna take me like 5 minutes. I'm just gonna go to the back, right? And you can probably already see where this is going, but yeah, here we go. So I walk down to the back of the station where the ambulance gates are, and I get there and I hear tones, you know, and I'm like, oh great, ambulance call. And yeah, the gates open up. I've only been down there for 3 minutes now, and I'm like, oh nice, I can take a nice little video and then I can go home, right? And the ambulance, they take their time for some reason. I'm like, you know, I'm filming them coming out. Eventually they turn their lights on, and as they turn their lights on, I hear a bunch of more sirens from up the road where the main gates are of the fire station. And I just think, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And then the ambulance turns on its siren and also drives up the main road, and I hear more and more and more sirens. And I haven't uploaded this video because I just, you know, I can't, but one day. And yeah, and so I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no, and I go back up the road, and what had happened pretty much the entire fire station had turned out for what must have been a structure fire call. And it would have been a huge video, probably the best one I would have gotten ever in Hong Kong, it's also a station that hasn't been filmed that often. And you know, the ambulance probably went to the same call, so if I had just waited up there 5 minutes longer, I would have gotten the entire station with a lot of rare vehicles and new vehicles, plus that ambulance. And yeah, I was done. I was really done.
Yeah.
It happens. Sometimes you make the wrong call, wrong decision, and you miss something awesome.
It's all about decisions, mostly. And I have two stories which are kind of the same, but the first one was in Germany, and the second one was with him in America, in Washington, in Olympia, the capital of Washington. And yeah, we just go into the station. They were very friendly, gave us some presents, some caps and patches.
Yeah.
Really cool guys. And yeah, we just waited outside for maybe another hour and something.
Yeah, we were thinking, you know, we should really get a video of the station. It's kind of the main station.
Cool. They have a battalion chief, an engine, and a ladder truck, tiller truck there. And then we just got hungry and decided to find something, some food, and maybe just return to the station 5, 10, 15 minutes later.
Yeah, we tried to think of the best way to do it because we didn't want to miss anything. So we saw McDonald's on Google Maps, I think.
Not far away, so
5 minutes away, drive through, and
unfortunately, the McDonald's was closed or something. We turned on the scanner and just heard something like a structure fire response, and it was just for the whole area of Olympia, so we didn't know if it would be
we weren't sure.
Olympia,
we were like,
or in a
doesn't
different
have to be
city,
Olympia, right?
Well, we were pretty sure that this wasn't for us to film, and but we decided to return back just for making sure that there is no turnout. But unfortunately, it was really this station. It wasn't far away, so we missed the whole station 1 responding.
Plus 2 police cars.
Plus 2 police cars and another engine, but we got another engine from Olympia and a 4th engine of Olympia, the fire chief, and 2 ambulances. So it's not too bad, but if you have to know, this was this junction right next to the station where every emergency vehicle for this call
they
passed
all
by.
went through the same intersection, right by the fire station where we had been 5 minutes prior. So had we waited, they must have gotten the call
right when
when we left.
Yeah, so
they probably ran into the hall as we were still, leaving.
So and it would be a full assignment response we've gotten. So it was pretty
Yeah, I mean,
just uncool.
You have to imagine that if we had stayed there, we pretty much would have gotten the entire Olympia Fire Department in one video.
And that's insane. That's really insane.
What can you do?
Yeah,
can't always be successful.
No.
Yeah.
Keep on trying.
Okay, so now a question from Oklahoma Emergency, and he writes, got any plans to go into the fire service? For me personally, not really. Like I said before, if I had continued living in Germany, maybe I would have gone and joined a youth department or a volunteer department program. But maybe one day I might be interested in doing something along the lines of paramedic work, or maybe even law enforcement work. I don't know yet. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
For you?
Yeah, I actually am a volunteer firefighter, which is in Germany a bit different maybe than in North America. So even the biggest cities in Germany have volunteer fire service in the city beside the professional fire service or the career fire service. So, but some mid-sized towns like 50k people living there, they quite often just have a volunteer force with several smaller stations or even bigger stations in the city, and so it's kind of a passion just doing the volunteer work, and you don't have to have any plans going into the career fire service. And for me, it's just like a hobby, like filming emergency vehicles, doing the same work as professionals just in my spare time, and of course with less call volume. but it's just that I really know how the job is and what we're gonna do when we're responding to an incident or an accident.
It's very technical, takes a lot of training.
Yeah.
It's not something that you can easily just do.
Yeah. You really have to have a passion and
commit
it's
to it.
Of course, also very competitive to get in the job here and
That
there.
too,
so,
depending on where you live, how your system works.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good with working in the volunteer fire service in Germany, and yeah, so
maybe we can also show a video of your trucks that you have there.
Yes, of course. Maybe you see it just right now.
Oh yeah.
And
how many calls do you guys do?
We do about 80 to 120 maybe a year, but not every one of them is just by lights and sirens. Some of them are more like planned calls, inspections and something, which is kind of a call type. But yeah, so I think accidents, fires and something, we do over 50 a year, which is not too bad. It's an average once a week, so we can't complain.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you. So next question is from The Hague 112. I don't know how to spell it. How to pronounce it.
The Hague? Warum?
The Hague.
The Hague.
The Hague. So, next question from The Hague 112, and he asks, where can we sign in for such an epic trip as you guys did?
Wow, great
that's
question.
That's a pretty hard question. So,
yeah, well, I mean, wherever we are in the world, we're always open to meeting up with people who share the same passion as us and enjoy this hobby. It's, you know, as you can see, I get around a lot, so I like to contact people as well every now and then when I know there's someone in a city and knows the area well and can give me some information about how things work there with different departments. So, you know, it's possible that one day you could meet up, and if any of you are ever in the Vancouver area where I live right now,
or Munich,
yeah, you know, you can always send a message on YouTube and we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah, right. So, nothing more to say.
Okay guys, I think these were the most relevant and interesting questions for today. I hope you enjoyed this special video, and maybe we'll do it again sometime if there's more questions coming up. Feel free to comment below, like the video if you enjoyed it, and also give us your thoughts on our experiences and our stories. Let us know what you have experienced, and thank you to Lucas for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me, and don't forget to check out my channel, which is right in the description, I guess. Yes. And maybe here in the end card. So
he has a lot of videos from Europe and North America, so check it out.
And lots of videos are coming up, so just stay tuned.
Yeah guys, so in the meantime, as usual, enjoy response videos and action, and see you soon.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye.